about to be spoken on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, brought to you by the Ad Free Shows podcast feed and Wrestling According to Alba Networks. I'm John Alba. That's the broken one. That's the woken one. That is the spoken one himself. Mr. Matt Hardy, enjoying his 2-week sabbatical from wrestling. How we doing?
Doing good. I've always loved the word sabbatical. Yeah, it has been. It's been almost. It's going to be almost 2 weeks, which is pretty amazing. I am here for it, and I need it. I feel alive. I feel recharged. I feel recuperated. I feel like I've been away on vacation for a month. It's nice. The travel was so hectic, and we had some pretty grueling, tough matches, pretty taxing matches throughout this last 6 weeks. We had to deal with Dark State. We had to deal with the Dudleys. We, deal with the main event. Even all those matches, we went hard in everything that we did. And just between such little downtime between flying to television tapings and doing these cons over the whole weekend and standing up for 9-10 hours straight in a day, it was pretty grueling, no doubt. And it was one of the most challenging 6 weeks I want to say myself and Jeff have had in a very, very long time. But it was an excellent 6 weeks for us.
Now you're wheeling and dealing, heading into the holiday season. Can't believe we're already near Thanksgiving. It's wild. I judge how long we've been doing the shows by like the end of the year, because we're approaching January, which in 2026 will be entering. What will that be? That will be entering year 5 for us, right? Do I have math right? 2022, 23, 4, 5. That's nuts, man. That's nuts. That's crazy.
It is nuts. It is crazy. And it's even crazier. The last couple of days I've been home, and I was hoping I could just be off and lay around like a lazy ass, but I ended up having to pack all the Halloween stuff up, and like we started decorating for Christmas today here. My wife is she's all about the seasons. No doubt about it. She's all about the seasons.
Festive.
Well, she's quite festive. She's quite festive.
She's one of those holiday sickos,
She's yes, accurate description. A holiday sicko, perfect. She is overly. She has a festivity addiction. She indulges too much.
She's one of the sickos. Man. Look, we got the Matt Hardy sickos, man. It's cool. I'll take them. And I bet you what, the Matt Hardy sickos are going to be in attendance at the Hardy party.
You're right. You're damn right they are.
Damn right they are.
And I'm going to tell the sickos, I'm going to say our names. And they go, oh my God, you're the goats.
There you go. And you can tell them to their face, November 22nd at Connolly's in New York City. It's the biggest Hardy party of the year. We're going to be rocking and rolling outside of Times Square. It's a live Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast. It's a live Jeff Hardy concert and a meet, greet, delete for the ages, alongside some good food and drinks at the iconic Connolly's Pub. It's an awesome pub near Times Square, 3 levels, and we're going to be at the top level in their little concert venue they got up there with a bar. It's awesome, man. It's a great spot, and we're so excited to be bringing the Hardy Party to you. HardyBoysLive.com is where you can get your tickets. We're doing some media today, getting ready for this thing. The vibes are good, aren't they?
The vibes are great, man. It's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be a great time of the year in New York. You know what I mean? Right before Thanksgiving. I'm hyped to be in Times Square. I'm hyped to be in Connolly's.
The new mayor of New York City is a sicko. He was at
I have heard you address him as such.
Yeah,
and say that he probably knows the whole series between Okada and Omega.
I would bet he does. He was at Grand Slam one year, like upper deck on his feet, cheering Danielson versus Omega. So I don't know. Maybe he knows Hardy stuff. New York City's crazy, man, and you never know who you're going to run into. You never know what you're going to find. But I can tell you, you are going to find the Hardys at Connolly's on November 22nd. It's going to be amazing to get a chance to interact with all of the diehardys who will be in attendance for this. HardyBoysLive.com. Get your tickets now. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. Also makes a great holiday gift, doesn't it?
A great gift. I mean, this is the perfect thing to buy. If you are looking for an early Christmas gift, or if you have someone that has a birthday mid-November or so, this is a perfect birthday gift. Early Christmas.
Certainly is. Oh man, I can't keep up with this pro wrestling news cycle, man. It truly every day just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And this weekend we had more big things happening. CM Punk is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He defeated Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event. Jade Cargill is the new WWE Women's Champion. Pretty big show in terms of big things happening. What do you think of the two of them? Two people you worked with in AEW, by the way, getting big moments.
As we had addressed here on the pod a couple of weeks ago, I think CM Punk was very deserving of winning the title, and it was one of those things. I feel like he's busted his ass. He's worked really hard. See someone waving something in the background. He has worked really hard, and I think he's been great. And it sounds like he's been a great fit for the WWE. So I'm glad that worked out. And I think he's deserving, especially with his legacy and considering everything he's done in the WWE in the past and his history at WWE. WWE is the person who made him a star when it was all said and done, a household name. So I'm glad it worked out, and I'm glad he is getting a proper run. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do now with him, where his journey takes him, who he ends up working with, and who he's programmed with for the next few months. Happy for Jade Cargill. I feel like I saw her right when she was beginning her career. She was really green. She was learning, and she loved wrestling. She had a great interest in it, and she wanted to do it. She had an amazing look right from the jump, and she worked really hard at it. She tried hard, and she did everything that she could possibly do to be as good as she could. And she ends up now in WWE as the women's champion.
What do you make of Punk at this juncture being a world champion? Like in his career, in his mid 40s. What do you make of that? Because this is someone who missed out on a lot of his prime from being away from the company. He gets the opportunity in AEW. He wins a world title there a couple times. You run it back here in WWE. It's the first time he's been a champion in WWE, aside from his 2-minute reign that he had at SummerSlam since 2013, it would have been. Getting this opportunity at this stage, like, did he need this? What's your thoughts on that?
I think he deserved it. I mean, I think if you are someone who is selling tickets, and if you are generating interest, if you are a popular character that has a large following, I think it is worthwhile to have you be the champion. I think it is something different, new, fresh. There are people who definitely want it, and it makes those people happy. I don't think it has to last forever. I don't think it has to be a long-term reign, because like with or without the title, CM Punk is going to be CM Punk regardless. But I think it's one of those deals in wrestling. Like at the end of the day, the people who are generating the most interest, who are putting the most eyeballs on your product, who are selling the most tickets, those are the people you want to have in those prominent positions, especially if they can still go at a respectable rate in the ring, and Punk still can.
You talk about selling tickets. A big story the past few weeks has been with WWE. They've been returning to a lot of venues that they ran last year, and the houses are significantly down by a lot. The venue they ran on SmackDown on Halloween, which to be fair is on Halloween, it's a big kid holiday, but there was a difference of almost 7,000 people from when they ran it the last time. And I don't think 7,000 kids necessarily are attending your show. So I'm curious, what do you attribute something like that to? Are there outside factors? Is it related to creative? Is it no Cena? Like, I'm curious what your perspective is on that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Cena is obviously a major marketing move, which is helping sell tickets everywhere he is, no doubt about it. They have increased the prices of their tickets. That probably has something to do with it to a degree. And I guess there's not anything that is currently happening that is like white hot, like red hot. Like if you touch it, you're burnt. You know what I mean? Like they have a lot of great stuff going on. They have a lot of characters that are cool. They have some cool stories, some cool sagas going on. They have a few injuries that are kind of hurting them a little bit right now as well, that have just happened. But maybe a combination of those things. You know, there's once again, if you are going to charge those top level prices, you have to make sure your product is top level at all times, and it is white hot.
I think that's a really good point you just hit on there. It's when you are charging that, you can't get complacent. That's any product. Like a singer can't charge $300 for a floor ticket and then put on a mediocre show. There has to be an expectation that you are meeting the demand and meeting what people are paying. Like, think of it this way, man. We just had, as we tape this, it's Wednesday, we just had a big election cycle wrap up yesterday. And what was one of the biggest underlying things talked about here in the US in this election cycle? And it was affordability, right?
That was the dominant issue. 50% everywhere. I mean, that's the price of everything and the cost of living. Just affordability is the number one issue in America.
Yeah,
right now, right?
100%. So if you are going to charge that premium ticket price, and there will be people who will pay it, because as we've talked about, even if people are hurting, they usually tend to pay for entertainment because it's something that gets them as an escape for just a little bit,
Of course.
But you got to meet them halfway on it. And it's interesting because I know we did a whole episode about this, which you can find in the archives, extremehardy.com, but Maven just went viral this past week. Your boy
Maven?
Your boy Maven. Because he said he took a much harder stance even than you did when we talked about, where he was just like, Vince McMahon knew that being able to make the show affordable for fans was a huge crux of the goodwill of the business.
I did see this.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I think that that's something that's kind of just lost in wrestling right now. It's lost in a lot of forms of entertainment, but I do feel like it's kind of lost in wrestling.
I mean, there was a point. Didn't he say too that wrestling was better under the thumb of Vince McMahon? Wasn't there some sort of comment?
Yeah, I mean, there's much more at stake there.
Yeah, I know, but there was something like that mixed in this comment, right? Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, Vince. I feel like Vince was out there to try and bring families in. That was his whole thing, especially once he changed it after the Attitude Era, when kind of society changed a little bit too. It wasn't quite as wild west, once we started getting to the 2000s and the whole PG era. Like he was adamant, man. He really wanted to appeal to children because he knows if there are children, they get hooked on the product, they're going to come, and their parents obviously got to come with them. They can't just like the little kids go to this all by themselves, so the whole family has to cash in and buy tickets. So he was adamant about doing that and attracting families, but also he did try and make it as affordable as he possibly could. I think too, he was cognizant of that fact.
And maybe there are some correlations to a not as hot product. Like, listen, you're not going to be able to price up tickets if your creative's bad and you're not putting on good shows, because who's going to want to pay them? And maybe you're not, using the phrase, maximizing shareholder value, but there's a pretty distinct difference in the ticket prices. I mean, you want to go to WrestleMania for both days this year, if you're going to sit in the last row of the stadium, it's still going to cost you $800, $900.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
How big is that arena? Is that 80,000, 75,000?
It's stadium. It's an NFL stadium.
Yeah, 75,000, 80,000 seats.
Sure.
To pay $800 to be in the very last row in the entire stadium is pretty hefty.
You need Saudi money for that, man. Laying the groundwork.
They'll be able to get Saudi money the following WrestleMania.
That's right. That's right. You're laying the groundwork for it. What'd you make of all those former WWE people former AEW people taking the pictures as WWE champions? It was Cody, Punk, Jade, and Ricky Saints.
It was what a superb troll, I guess, in many ways. I mean, I'm sure that was part of the mindset behind it. I'm sure those guys are like very happy they are where they are, and they're kind of all feeling themselves because you had at least 3 of the people, right, that had just newly won these titles. It was Punk, Jade,
Ricky and Cody.
Yes, and Cody, because Cody had it for a little bit before. Anyway, yeah, it was a pretty terrific troll, I would guess, in many ways. But it's one of those things I think people like see it, they go, "Oh shit, no, they didn't." It was, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Is that your wife behind you?
I think it is. I think it is.
She's judging. She's judging you hard for the voice you just put on.
Oh,
You got,
I mean,
you got to clue her in about the holiday sickos. That's gonna resonate.
Are you Rebecca? Are you one of the holiday sickos?
Well, I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't know what that means.
Well, the sickos are people that takes stuff to the extreme.
Yeah.
So I just do it up big with multiple Christmas trees.
You got a gothic sicko right next to you.
Gothic baby. There she is. Oh, how are you, my beautiful daughter?
She's in a Christmas dress, and that's all she's gonna do.
She looks great.
And I'm gluing Christmas ornaments right now. So I don't know. Maybe that's your answer right now.
She's a holiday sicko, no doubt.
I love it. I love it.
Come on.
Evie, how you doing, Evie?
Evie, say hi, say bye. All right.
All right. Well, the other thing WWE announced this week, the John Cena tournament. His last match is going to be decided by a tournament. People are going to fight for the right to party and have his last match in DC. And our pal Rosie, who's watching.
What up, Rosie?
That's the wrong one. Says, who do you... Oh, okay. All right. So I see what he's doing here. So the tease that WWE said was, there's going to be people that's seen his face in the past, WWE people, NXT people, and maybe even some people outside of WWE. So he wants to know, who are you fighting in the first round of the Cena last match tournament?
All right. It's kayfabe. It's a rematch of WrestleMania 19.
Okay. You and Ray?
There you have it.
There you go. What do you think of the tournament?
I like it. I feel like something you probably appreciate. You're a big stakes guy.
But is it better? Is it better than having an actual story going into the last match?
I don't know. I guess it depends on who it ultimately ends up being and how compelling it is. Like, I'm hoping they just have something kind of played in that. Like, maybe you have people in the tournament that really wish they would have got their match with Cena. This is their dream. Joe Henry, I can see him being in it. And like, this was his dream. He wanted to manifest him versus Cena one last time. He feels like if he can do this, he can go and wrestle John Cena in his final match and beat him, then he's a made man or whatever. Like, I feel like if it's done right, they can get a really strong story out of the tournament. When you ask, could it just be a stronger story going into it? Yeah, maybe so. But I do like the unpredictability of it. And I think you can create some pretty good stories through this tournament too, if done right.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen an actual story for his final match, but I'm not going to hate on the tournament because I do think it is like an honor. It is a championship in itself to be John Cena's last match, right? Like, there's something to that. And if you're going to do it where guys, like, I want to see vignettes with the people in the tournament talking about what it would mean for them to be Cena's last opponent and to beat John Cena and to retire John Cena. Like, that writes itself for someone like Gunther, who just retired Bill Goldberg. He should want to retire John Cena. So,
perfect. Yeah, yes, he should absolutely be in it too. Yeah,
and they teased him being in it. I suspect he's going to be in it. I suspect he's going to win it, honestly. But I feel like you can tell those great stories still, but you have to make the effort. And I want to see that effort because that will elevate the stakes even more so for a lot of the people involved in this tournament. Could you see any outside the company people being in this thing?
Possibly. I mean, I honestly, you could never rule out, a Leon Slater, or even for that matter, me or Jeff. I could see, we're in a pretty good space with those guys. I mean, so I guess it's possible. Is that happening? I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't rule it out of the realm of a possibility.
I feel like a Nick Nemeth would be possible given his history with Cena. Maybe a Matt Cardona with his history with Cena.
A Matt Cardona would be very interesting too. That would garner a great reaction and do a lot of goodwill for WWE too.
Maybe Chris Jericho.
Maybe so. I don't know where all the timelines lie, but
It would be interesting, but I suspect that they'll deliver a pretty cool tournament here. And we know Dominic's going to be in it, and it's looking like he and Ray might be on a collision course for Survivor Series in San Diego, and that's pretty cool if you ask me.
Very cool. Super cool. I mean, when I saw them just interacting when Ray came back and confronted him and they started going back and forth, and it was just I was so envious. It would be so much fun to do that with one of my boys. So I'm very happy Ray and Dominic are getting this time.
You said you wanted to talk about real quick too, Chelsea Green and Ethan Page as a team. You like them?
Yeah, no, I do. I think they're extremely entertaining together. They are both really, really effective sports entertainers. Once again, looking back, I wasn't overly familiar with Ethan Page's work until I worked with him at AEW. And then like once I got to know him and saw kind of how his mind worked and the way his mind ticked, really became a huge fan of his. And it's just a shame nothing happened with him in AEW because he has everything it takes to become a big star. And I think he's doing great at NXT. I think he's going to be to the main roster before too long. And I think he's going to do great there as well. Like he really gets the entertainment aspect of pro wrestling, and he's really good at it. And on top of that, he's quite athletic, and he's a really, really hard worker and disciplined guy, especially with his diet and his body and everything else. Now, just a good human being all the way around, man. I have nothing but great things to say about Ethan Page.
They got pies to the face. Chelsea Green said she'd never been creamed on like that before.
That's what she said until Matt Cardona started making TikToks and IG videos and stuff. You know, it is what it is, man. Those guys, they get it. They get how to stay relevant, whether they're working for the E or for the Fed or for New York, or whether they're out as the king and queen of the indies.
Have you ever been creamed on like that before?
I have never been creamed on like that. No, I have not. I have not been I have not been the recipient of pie or that sort of cream to the face. I've never caught one. I've never caught a stray to the face.
Never caught a stray cream to the face.
Yeah, never caught a stray cream pie to the face.
Well, that's just because things are out of control. Your cream's out of control, but you can get your cream in control with Blue Chew. Because all it takes is one Blue Chew. And I can't even get through this. The cream will rise to the top, Matt Hardy.
Yeah. The cream will rise to the top. It always will. Everything rises to the top with Blue Chew, brother.
It's true. Because Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. I don't even know what to say. Matt Cardona is probably using Blue Chew after posting that TikTok. That's all I got to say. And the creaming will continue, I would have to imagine, down in Orlando, Florida at House Cardona. Just my speculation. But boy, howdy, Blue Chew is going to take good care of you. And Matt, maybe you too can experience cream like you've never experienced it before with the help of Blue Chew.
There you have it. Once again, Blue Chew, it will make your blood. It will make your blood flow. It will make it flow in the best way possible. It will make you and the person you're going to cream with very, very happy.
This isn't just about performance. It's about legacy or third legacy. So you can give a group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code Hardy at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time and one cream at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety information. Big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the extreme life of Matt Hardy.
That's right.
And creamers and dreamers all over the world.
Go from broken to woken and cream your heart out, baby.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Hell of an ad.
Hell of an ad. Real quick, we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week because you saw it afterwards, but heard you were a big fan of the Hangman Page reveal, the Halloween reveal with Hangman and Samoa Joe last week.
Yeah, the one that was dubbed over by Shivani as he was doing the deal, and he was in the ring posing as Shivani. It was a good callback to one of Shivani's old Halloween costumes he was wearing on an AEW programming. It was really good, and the way he pulled it off. Adam Page is really good at the entertainment aspect of pro wrestling too. He is really on the pulse of it, I think, and it's important to do stuff like that. It was super entertaining. I think everyone who watched it really enjoyed it, and they're like, "Wow, this is so good," because he got into the back of the ring and he was so inconspicuous that you really weren't sure. It didn't like automatically it wasn't a red flag automatically as soon as he got in. He got in the ring like, oh, okay, Tony Schiavone, you hear his voice, he's back here, and he's acting like he's speaking, whatever else. But then, like, once things changed and he said that real, out of the pocket line, and you see Samoa Joe starting to react, and then there's the reveal, and it's Adam Page, and he goes and jumps on Joe. Man, it was so good. It was so well done. And man, at the end of the day, that stuff like that is very important in pro wrestling. Whether you're an AEW fan who is really creating your product for the sickos, or if you're creating it for casual fans, it is important to be entertaining and do those fun, entertaining bits like that. And Adam Page, he always has great ideas, and he thinks outside the box. He thinks about ways he can do things in original ways. Like I know that from the time I got to work with him a little bit, which was real cool and real fun.
You're never going to find me complain about Hangman Page's creativity and what he brings to the table. I think he's one of the best in the game, year in and year out, always brings it. And it's been a good year for him, but has it been a better year for the Hardy Boys? Because that's what we're going to talk about here on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. But before we can, I got to ask, please, my friend, hit us with that Matt fact.
Matt fact: Matt has the patience of an angel.
Does that have anything to do with House Hardy, perhaps?
Everything to do with House Hardy.
Please elaborate.
I am just the glue that keeps everything together. Without going into too much detail, I feel like I'm kind of like the stabilizing force here in many ways.
As Reggie Jackson used to say, you're the straw that stirs the drink.
Maybe I don't know if I am the straw that stirs the drink, but I feel like I am the thing that keeps everyone connected and keeps everyone grounded in check and kind of feet on the floor, reaching for the skies, based in reality.
Okay. That's Matt fact, not Matt fiction.
Oh, that's definitely a Matt fact.
I see. Okay.
I'd bet my life on that one.
Okay. Everyone behaving ahead of the holidays? Anyone getting cold for Christmas?
They're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. Yeah.
Who of the children is most likely to get cold for Christmas?
Which child would I say is the worst?
Who's like, yeah, they're all good kids, but who's like closest to teetering on the bad list, the naughty list?
I would probably say overall Wolfie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That would be who I would say. There are times where Barty's he's in this new phase right now where he kind of does his baby thing where he like throws a temper tantrum and storms off like everybody hates him and everybody's mean to him.
Where does he get that from?
He's kind of going. Well, who knows? He's kind of going through that right now. Where do these people get all of their bad habits from?
These people.
And I would say Wolfie's a good dude. He's a good human being, super creative, right? He's there. Like Maxwell is very caring. He's very emotional. I know you've said that about how he's very empathetic, and he really is. He really cares about people. He'll see other people that are in trouble, and he'll be sad, almost about ready to cry because he feels bad for them. Wolfie is like, for instance, this is kind of Wolfie's personality. He's very blunt, very outspoken. Wolfie we were doing the deal where we did the vignette with NXT, right? And we shot that here at the house at the Hardy compound, and they kind of wanted everybody in there. Just JB was saying like, oh, let's like have a cameo, like everyone, that kind of were important in House Hardy. Let's have a cameo with everyone. And then the kids were obviously going to be in it. And Wolfie's like, can I like say or do something cool? And I was like, oh, well, we only have like we don't have much time for this, so you have a few seconds, and we're gonna do this. And, you know, and he was doing a little thing where they were going, the goats are here, the goats are here, the goats are here, and we watched it back on TV. And this was so funny. I said, "Oh, do you guys like that?" And Max, this is what Max was like. Max said, "Yeah." He said, "Thanks for letting us do it. You know, thanks for letting us do it, Dada." And then Evie and Bar were like, "Yeah, I loved it." And we said, "I don't know, it's kind of cringe." And then from behind Wolfie, his mother pops and says, "What are you saying? Don't ever say that again." I said, "Oh, we're not even going to let you in one of these. You don't talk that way." But that's very much him.
I feel like one of Wolfie's run-ins he did here, he called you cringe. That's
No,
like
no,
his
he
word.
does. Oh, he cringe is a favorite word of his. So he has a very high level of like what is cool, you know, and what he likes.
He's culturally online.
Yeah, he is on. He knows all that. You know what I mean? Like he'll be saying all this. You know, like he was even the 6'7" thing.
I was gonna say, is it 6'7", 6'7" in the house?
Yeah, he was. I said, what does that even mean? And he says, it's just blah, blah. Okay, par, whatever. Okay, middle of the road. But he is so funny, and like he is very much. He is like into everything online. He's like very aware. He's like collects information. He retains stuff very quickly. And then Barty, on the other hand, Barty is just like a brawler who's going to be like a brick shit house, who's going to like mow everybody down. I was like, you guys better be nice to Barty because you'll regret it if you don't. I promise. It's funny. They still, you see like Maxwell and Whoopi kind of like team up a little time because they're the olders. And then Evie is actually really sweet, and she knows like. She knows how to say, she knows how to throw compliments in. Like she's a big worker too. She gets it. She's like that. She goes, "Mama, you look so beautiful tonight." You know, she'll hit that stuff. It's too good. And she's hit me and like, she'll say, "Oh my God, I have such a handsome dada." And I was like, okay, that works. I will continue to sell for you. You can keep saying that.
I wonder where she gets that from. That's interesting. Interesting.
But it's amazing just how they all are so different, you know, but they get along pretty good for what it's worth.
Rajiv saying every time we do Mad Facts on here, he literally hears the "oh yeah."
I do too, man. I do too. I can't wait. You know, we have a big dream. We want Jeff and I at some point want to do a deal where you hear, "Oh yeah, I can sign my tornado," and I come out, and then we get no more words, and we have that. Then Jeff comes out and joins me, and then maybe kicking the Hardy Boyz music. That's what we're hoping for. Like I love that theme, and I really do want another entrance with some Matt Facts on it.
I remember you came out to one year at WrestleCade, and people were not expecting it, and they like freaked out when you came out to Monster Magnet. It was very, very cool. That going. So that's good. That's good stuff, man. All right. Well, we were talking about how it's a good year for Hangman, but maybe the Hardys had the better year. Now, Rosie bringing up your boy Dave LaGreca said that the Hardys were the tag team of the year, in his opinion.
There you have it.
Go ahead.
I did see that. I happened to catch that one. He said, "Look at the Hardys." He said, "Like what a year they've had." He said, "They've got to be tag team of the year. Look at everything they've done." And it has been a really good year for us because once again, and I said this at the beginning with TNA when we first came there, they put us in a position to succeed. And when you put us in a position to succeed and you kind of put us in there with the right people, with the right story, we can still produce, you know, and I think we've held up our end of the deal this year, and I think we've had a very, very strong year, and I've been really happy with everything. And the thing that I can tell now, which is great, is people are still learning about us and discovering about us. And Jeff and I, it's wild because we don't have to just be like, if I'm on vacation, people come up to me and they go, "Oh my God, aren't you one of the Hardy Boys?" And you know, we had people when we were on the Kai, you know, the Kai Cenat stream, and they're going, "Oh my God, I saw you there, man. The Hardy Boys, you guys are legends, you're icons." It's just, we get recognized because we have been on TV for so long, and we've been doing a lot of stuff that ends up being cool and being viral on social media, you know, in the last, you know, year and a half or so. So that's really helped us out. Just the way we're recognized, people get blown away by it. Like, you know, I say it to people like, "Yeah, we do. We get recognized everywhere." And we do. It's crazy, man. People would be surprised how often we are recognized in public, even by people who like don't even watch wrestling. They've just seen us, you know, in something wrestling adjacent.
I asked this question though, with everything you just said considered. Is this the best year of your career? Now, that's a loaded question because sure, you could say, hey, maybe we had better in-ring matches in 2000, 2001,
Sure.
before your skills deteriorated, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe
Back when they existed.
maybe you made more money off merchandise in 2002. I don't know. Whatever it may be, there are all these other factors of what they were in their prime. However, you guys this year, you've worked in TNA. You had a great run in TNA this year, multiple tag team title runs. You were featured acts on every main TNA show this year.
Mm-hmm.
You have the WWE Madison Square Garden match in the beginning of the year with Fraxium, who at the time, you wouldn't know how they've been booked since, but at the time they were one of WWE's top teams. Then you get the NXT Championship run. And I'm just thinking through this, man. I'm like, man, all things considered, this has been one of the most productive years of their career. How do you feel about it?
I mean, no doubt. Even those fourth rope shows, they're very different. They're very much about like rap and wrestling culture kind of combined. They're really unique. I dig it. I dig West Side Gun. He's a really unique, charismatic dude. And you know, we've had a run now with fourth rope. We've been their champion since mid-December of 2024. So we're almost coming up on a year with that. And it's been real cool when we do those shows. And they always want to have us out there. It's been cool because we're a big selling point. And I take a lot of pride in the fact that Jeff and I were big selling points, and, you know, Bound for Glory, and, you know, also Slammiversary and just Rebellion that happened earlier on this year. A lot of big shows that we were able to help contribute to, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it really has, man. Even doing the House of Glory stuff, having some of their biggest record houses there, you know, I can't, Jesus. I mean, every show we've done this year as an independent has ended up being a record house when it's all said and done. You know, like we did that whenever we went up to Maine, you know, John, and they had a big house up there. You know, it's cool. It's cool that we feel like we're a contributing factor that people want to come out and still see the Hardy Boys. And I think it's real cool because people don't know how much longer we'll be around. I mean, it could be, you know, 6 months, could be years, who knows? You know, it just depends on how our bodies feel, how our bodies hold up and whatnot. But it has been a very, very successful year for us, especially going to these cons. And it's cool because there's so many of these celebrities that we run into that know us, and some of them that grew up watching us and were actually fans, you know, even beforehand, before, you know, people that we're fans of, that they were aware of who we were. And we've been able to really make any extra money that we would. The bigger guarantee that we had at AEW, we've been able to compensate for all that, you know, at cons and whatnot, third-party appearances. So it's been a great year, man. And it really has, considering, you know, we started this year off with as TNA Tag Team Champions. We lost them for a little while. We won them back. We won the NXT titles. We've had the fourth rope titles all year long. We are the House of Glory Tag Team Champs now. And I was just thinking about this. I was about to clip together a video. Maybe I'll do it tonight, even before this drops. And I was going to show us beating the APA with Michael Hayes. And I'll put the first time we won the tag team titles, and then the match with, you know, Dark State, and put like the most recent time we've won the titles. And then like parentheses, like not the last, because it is not the last. And we both feel really good and strong about that.
In terms of where you hold this year to your heart, like, how do you rank it against other years of your career as a tag team?
I mean, this one is very special, no doubt, because I feel like this year to me shows how you can be because technically we're not indie guys, but it just shows how you can kind of be your own boss, because that is exactly what Jeff and I are doing. And that's exactly probably what Jeff and I are going to continue to fight to do, to be our own boss in some capacity. Because at TNA, we are able to go there, contribute. We're building TNA up. We helped TNA do their 2 record North American houses this year. We've been a factor, I feel like, in trying to get this new TV deal set, which should be set before too long. And it's cool that we're contributing. It feels good to feel valued. It feels like our value is being capitalized upon. And with that being said, we can do this at TNA, where it's not a place where they can roll out, they can't open Fort Knox and give you everything. TNA has a smaller budget, but still we do well there. But we're able to supplement it with all these other third-party appearances we do with other wrestling shows or Comic-Cons or whatever the appearances or private signings or whatever. And we have done very well with that. Financially, it's been a great year for us. And thinking of where this is, this year just feels different because we both feel like we're our own bosses. And I take a lot of pride in that, because I kind of get to call the shots. I kind of do what I want to, because we want to be as home as much as we can to spend time with these people. Who is that? Who just snuck in here? Is that my gothic baby? Oh, it is.
Whoa.
You scared me again. How's my beautiful girl?
Good.
Is she good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, I was telling them earlier what you say about me when you say nice things about me. What do you say?
That you look so handsome.
Really now?
My sweet girl. I love you.
What makes you say that, Evie?
Oh, what makes you say that?
I love you.
Oh, okay.
Aw, there you go.
Oh.
That's a good reason.
All right. That's
a good reason.
Thank you, everyone.
I can't believe how big she's getting. It is nuts.
It's crazy, right? And then I just when you talk about the other points in my career that I really cherish as great years, I thought the year I had as Broken Matt Hardy. Can you give us a minute? Can you be quiet? Can you be quiet?
Bye.
My beautiful girl. Thank you, baby. The year I had as Broken Matt Hardy was one of the most fun years of my career. Although it wasn't as financially successful as we are now. It is this year has been far and away much more financially successful. The year that I was Matt Hardy version 1 for pretty much that full year, that was a great year just because I got to be myself. I got to be myself. And
He's ribbing you right now.
Yeah.
You throwing up the Hardy? What are you trying to do there, Evie?
Are you gonna do the guns like this? Or are you doing peace? You like to stick that tongue out.
Peace and love.
All right. Get out of here, crazy. Go.
We'll see you later, Evie.
I'll see you later, Evie. We have to finish. And then the year the year whenever I did version 1, separated for Jeff. All right, go outside, baby. Go outside. We gotta finish up. Go outside. Go outside. Evie, seriously, go outside. Evie, go outside. I don't want to get you in trouble. Go. Thank you. Okay, back to regular schedule programming. I was just going to say the year that I was Matt Hardy version 1, Sensei of Mattitude, and I got to step into something that I felt very comfortable with because I've said this before, but Jeff is the epitome of what the Hardy Boys represented, right? The adrenaline junkie, the daredevil, the guy who is willing to take any risk in the book. Me, not quite so much. I can kind of do that to a degree, but I mean, Jeff is the one who thrives and he really excels in that lane. Whenever I got to be this larger than life, over the top delusional character, and I had Shannon Moore kind of like as my minion, I felt like I was really excelling and I was doing great stuff there. So that year was very special as well. Also, when Jeff and I blew up in the year 2000, that was an amazing year. So looking back in hindsight, probably my 4 favorite years of all time, even if I had to rank them, were the broken Matt Hardy year, where I really became viral, did so much. This recent year where Matt and Jeff Hardy, where retro is back and it's cool, I would rank it as my 2nd favorite year.
Wow.
3rd favorite year, I would say 2000, where Jeff and I really blew up and we became big stars. And then then following that would be whenever I got a chance to step out on my own as Matt Hardy version 1 that year.
Wow.
2002.
That's I mean, like, I don't doubt you, because 2016, I mean, you guys were like the hottest act in wrestling. There was no one hotter than you guys. It was
right.
insane. In a company that barely had television, you
Yeah.
guys were the hottest thing. You were everywhere. So I totally understand that.
And that's why I think those 2 years, that year and this year together, just feel so special, because like it's so much of like DIY, you know, it's a lot of it is do it yourself. You kind of are in control of your own destiny in so many ways. We just talked about it on Talk is Jericho, because the first time we talked, the pre-match conversation with us and the Dudleys did really well. So we did a post-match conversation talking about them, you know, after the match and retiring and whatnot. And it was cool. Devon went into like his actual health struggles and, you know, how bad it was and whatnot, which was cool. But one thing that I thought was so intriguing, and we said this over and over, they said, like, what about the people that said, well, this match, you guys are WWE acts, you know, the WWE is where you guys were both born and bred. And like, you know, should you have had this match in the WWE? You know, to begin with, Devon couldn't have been cleared to do it in the WWE. And the second thing was like the match that we went out and did, it was like a moment in time, and we wanted to be very specific in our storytelling. We wanted to be smart. We wanted to do some stuff that gave enough people like, oh shit, I'm getting the feels from the early tables match. But, you know, we knew what we were doing at the end, where it was going to be a big moment. And we knew at least Devon was going to totally be retiring, but they take their boots off and then they hand them both the boots. And it's very emotional, and it was very real in so many ways, because Jeff and I didn't want to know what they were going to do. We wanted our organic reaction there. And if that match would have been in the WWE, I feel like we wouldn't have got to do what we did, because we determined, the four of us determined what we wanted to do that night. And in TNA, that's the only place you can kind of get that creative freedom, right? You know, if that would have been WWE, we wouldn't have had 30 minutes. We would have had less time. We wouldn't have been able to sit there for 4 minutes in the very beginning while the crowd is chanting, "This is awesome. Holy shit. Hardys, Hardys, Dudleys, Dudleys, Hardys, Hardys. This is awesome. This is awesome." You know, and we like, but all that stuff made the match, and it made it feel more special, especially how the people were so excited about it. They were on their feet. The arena looked amazing. It looked like a huge pay-per-view event from the Attitude Era in some ways. It had such a special energy to it. And we couldn't have done that the same in the WWE, because WWE is still so micromanaged. You know what I mean? I mean, they're very much on top of it. And I get it. That's their business model. I understand it. TNA was the perfect place for that match to happen. And just being able to say that we were able to do that and have the Dudleys last match and really end this rivalry on a high note, let Devon go out on his own terms, that felt really special as well. That was a really, really big moment this year also.
Said you were on Talk is Jericho talking about this?
Yeah.
It's a big-time podcast. Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, another big-time wrestling podcast. And if you enjoy getting your big-time podcasts in your ears, let us introduce you to Raycon, because we are big fans of Raycon over here on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, and we are awaiting our delivery of our new Raycon earbuds. We are so excited about this. This message is sponsored by Raycon. Raycon's everyday earbuds have become a go-to gift for the holidays. They sound great, last all day, and then some, with 32 hours of battery life, and actually stay comfortable no matter how long you wear them. Over 4 million people have a pair, so if you've been curious, now's the time to try them out. For Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you can get up to 30% off all Raycon products, perfect for gifting or for keeping for yourself. I don't know about you, man. You know, last week we talked about working out with earbuds and the importance of that and staying distracted, but with me, I need my wireless earbuds when I travel too, especially on planes. I need to block out all the sound around me, and with the active noise cancellation and multi-point connectivity, you can pair with 2 devices at once with a fit that actually stays put no matter where you're going, and keeping all that music, those podcasts, inside your ears and blocking out all the noise. How important is that for you when you travel?
Incredibly important. And I got to tell you, when it comes to Raycon, they are absolutely wonderful. And I can't wait to get my purple and green coming up. You know, I'm going to be rocking Hardy Boyz colors. And yes, as much as I traveled the last 6 weeks, and as much travel as I have coming up, you know, after I have these 2 weeks off, we're right back and grinding away, I am going to need these Raycon, and I'm so happy to have them because they really are. They're comfortable. The sound is great, and they last forever. Once you charge these things, they last for a very long time.
Yeah, in fact, with their quick charge, 10 minutes of charging gives you 90 minutes of playtime and up to 32 hours of battery life with the case alone. So we want to introduce you to Raycon. So many people love Raycon. Millions love Raycon. And these earbuds come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. So if you don't love them, returns are easy. So you have absolutely nothing to lose with this. So, I mean, really, like, this is one of the best products out there. We are so excited to get our own, and we want you to as well. Raycon's going big for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Everything's up to 30% off. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/Hardy to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. And we thank them for sponsoring the extreme life of Matt Hardy. So it's interesting that you said 2016, this year, your top 2 years of your career, both of those years took place in TNA. And you guys are so associated with WWE, but it really sounds like the creative freedom and the flexibility of TNA have worked very well and are very conducive to what you're doing.
Absolutely. And the schedule. I mean, if it was not for, once again, I say this in the beginning, if it was not for WWE, and getting the opportunity with Vince McMahon's group, Jeff and I would not be the stars that we are right now. We would not be looked at as this highly influential, highly popular, highly decorated tag team that we are. You know, they made us that, and we will always be grateful for WWE giving us that opportunity. With that same thing being said, once we had cooled off and it was time for us to, you know, reinvent again, do something different, we went to TNA, and they let us think outside the box. They let us think outside the normal parameters of creativity, and doing the whole broken mat thing and Brother Nero. They allowed us to do that, and we turned it into something very special. They let us bet on ourselves. They let us roll the dice and take that chance. And that's how it is. Sometimes you got to take a chance. You might fail, but you might succeed. And we succeeded, and it paid off in such a massive way, and a complete resurgence to our career at that time. And it's what ultimately ended up bringing us back to WWE when it was all said and done, because we were just so white hot at that time. And I feel like anytime Jeff and I have been kind of left to our own devices, you know, especially with Jeff being where he is in his personal life right now, if we're left to our own devices and we get to have a say in creatively what we're doing, and we are put in a position to succeed, we can get ourselves hot, and we've done it time and time again. And this time has really been great. And it feels like we're as hot now as we've ever been. It's wild, you know, it's very cool. And we are very grateful for the opportunities we have been presented with by TNA.
I know that you have expressed some frustration with how the last year and a half of your AEW run played out. And I know you're not bitter about it or anything of that nature, but
Sure,
you've made it clear that you wanted to be more active, and you were kind of on the sidelines for a lot of it. So how fulfilling was it for you guys to really get back in the game this year, wrestle a lot of matches, make a lot of appearances, do stuff that you really hadn't done in well over 3 years at that juncture?
extremely fulfilling. I mean, it really was. And I think for Jeff too, it was just quite rewarding, because I feel like Jeff was so nervous about his new journey just in life, right? You know, as far as being sober, and, you know, this is still, Jeff is good. Jeff is locked in. He's locked in. He's hyper focused, but it was still a new concept to him, like say a year and a half ago when he first came to TNA, and just, he felt like he was part of the reason our downfall happened in AEW, and to a degree he was, and you know, that is deserved to a degree. He made a mistake, but it affects me. If you have a tag team partner in pro wrestling, it often affects you if your tag team partner makes a mistake, and Jeff felt really terrible about that. I mean, he had so much regret about it and felt bad. To see him come to TNA and get an opportunity being utilized to his utmost value, being put in a position to succeed, and then being able to succeed and being in this great place in life. Like, he is just so happy and he feels so rewarded. And he says this all the time. He said, like, we are both, exactly where we need to be. And that's truly how he feels. And that makes me happy, because for the longest time he was so down on himself, so I'm glad he's got that opportunity. And it's just one of those things, man. It's I don't know, man. During those times in AEW, there were times where both myself and Jeff, like, especially me, when I was there and I wouldn't really do anything, it just made me question, like, why am I still doing this? Like, I love this, but like, it kind of just doesn't feel like something I love right now, and I knew if we could get into a groove of doing something good and be where we need to be, and ultimately what we need to do was leave it and go to TNA. And then we found that again. And like, I am as much in love with the business as I have ever been this year. It's not easy getting up and getting in that cold plunge, and it's been chilly in the morning. I've been going out and jumping in my pool. It's not like AJ Styles talks about, like, you kind of trying to make excuses for yourself. Oh, maybe I'll just do it later, whatever. It's like, you just got to get the shit done, right? Do that, work out. And, you have to stay on top of your training when you're older, like I am, to keep your body in one piece so you can still continue to do this, especially at the level we are doing it at. It's not easy. You have to work hard for it, but also it makes you that much more grateful. And in a lot of ways, it makes me love it that much more. Whenever I go have a match and I know we've done a good piece of business, just the satisfaction that lives within myself and Jeff is just it's undescribable how much it is, because we are two people who still love this. We're very passionate about it, and we're just we're very grateful that we're doing it going on 34 years now.
Would you be cool riding out the rest of your career under these types of circumstances, like how you're working this year?
I think so. I would. I would be cool with that. I think we would like to do something proper to wind things down, and we've said this a couple of times in in WWE, and then maybe off into the sunset and do the Hall of Fame, and we could do the TNA. I would want to do the TNA and the WWE Hall of Fame, and I think Jeff would as well, because Jeff's talked about that a lot. Like, when he had issues back in 2013, when whenever he had that deal with Sting, and TNA has supported him, and they have stuck by him, and they have given him opportunities, and now he has got past all those demons, and he is just this excellent ambassador and someone who is just an absolute TNA legend right now, and just someone you can't find someone more dependable than Jeff Hardy right now. As crazy as that statement sounds, it's Jeff Hardy is very much a wild card, as he is as a person, because he really does march to the beat of his own drum. But you cannot find a more trustworthy, reputable, someone who is dependable. You can't find a more dependable employee when it comes to Jeff Hardy in the year 2025.
He's crushing it. He's doing great. It's great to hear how this year has been so therapeutic for him.
Yeah.
Rosie's saying, as much as wrestling is helping now, having you back at a high level makes a Die Hardy elated. And I do think that's part of it too, where you guys have such loyal fans. And regardless of what your positioning is, yes, you're being positioned in a very important way right now, but I think people are just happy to see you guys on TV. That goes a long way for a lot of fans.
I agree. I think so as well, especially, when I came up with that term Die Hardy, I was just like, there's been people that have supported us for decades, man. And that's a long time. And I'm just grateful for those guys, because I know, like, without a fan base like you're not who you are right now. You don't sell the merchandise that you sell, and you don't have the people get excited to come watch you wrestle. You don't have the people buy tickets. You don't have people buy the pay-per-views. It's important. And we are always going to be grateful for those people.
I think it would be very cool if you went into both Hall of Fames. I would bank on you guys going in the TNA Hall of Fame, because you guys are one of very few, like, prominent tag teams who've had a good run in TNA. Beer Money was obviously super important. America's Most Wanted. The Wolves had a nice run there, but you guys are right there at the top when it comes to that. And you both had individual success in TNA too. Both were world champions. So there's something to be said about that. It's been a great year for you guys, and you draw huge at these wrestling shows, these conventions. You talked about Maine, like you helped put on the biggest independent wrestling show in that part of New England's history, which is
it's
crazy.
very cool. Yeah, it was very cool to take part in that Limitless event.
Yeah, and you do that everywhere you guys go. You know, House of Glory does big houses when you guys are there, and it's impressive to see. It is, and you know, we did an interview earlier today with someone from the Ringer who isn't really much of a wrestling fan, but when I offered him the opportunity to talk to you guys, he was like, "Hell yeah, I want to talk to the Hardy Boys. That's awesome!" Like he hasn't watched wrestling since WCW was around, but he knew that the Hardy Boys were still a big deal in 2025.
That's very cool. Yeah,
and
I love to hear.
That's something to be said about you guys and the relevance that you have. So, all right, so definitively, you're putting this at number 2. You think?
Yeah, I would put this year at my second my second favorite year.
Okay, respect on that. Rosie saying when TNA gets the big media deal, people will go back and realize that the Hardys helped make it happen. I'd agree with that sentiment. I think you guys played a part in helping whatever this new media deal looks like come to fruition. You agree with that? TikTok. Yeah. Okay. Karrion Kross is coming in.
Maybe.
Killer Kross. Okay. I got you. Well, we can't wait to see you in New York City because the clock is ticking to that November 22nd. We are about 2 weeks away. Can't believe it already. HardyBoysLive.com is where you get your tickets for that. Live Extreme Life podcast, live Jeff Hardy concert, meet, greet, and delete for the ages. It's going to be an amazing time. We hope to see you there, and we hope for you to join us on this journey here as we go into year 5 together. AdvertiseWithHardy.com was where you promote your business to the extreme. Get out in front of thousands of listeners every single week here on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. That's AdvertiseWithHardy.com. Anything else you want to add for all those Hardy Boy sickos, the die Hardys out there?
That's it. The die Hardys, the Hardy Boy sickos, no doubt. Once again, thank you guys who are loyal listeners or viewers to the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, and you're tuning in every Friday. I know we got Coach Rosie. I know Josh Henney. Those guys, they're always on it. They jump on it as early as they can on Friday, which I love to hear. And always hit us with some feedback for each episode, which thank you guys for doing that. And if you are someone who listens, we would love to hear your feedback. Please send us a tweet. You know, let us know. And thank you guys. Thank you for your support. And it's going to be exciting. There's some really cool, exciting stuff coming up, and I'm very much looking forward to the future. It's going to be great, and I'm very much looking forward to being in Times Square on November 22nd. And I'm very much looking into going into what year is Extreme Life going into? 5 years. What a run!
Hell of a run. We've outlasted most podcasts, so that's a pretty cool thing. And I'm appreciative of everyone who tunes in every week as well as back. So with that said, the words have been spoken, and we'll see you next week on the Extreme Life. I'm Matt Hardy.
Die!
Hey everybody, so by now you've heard me bragging about saving people money at savewithconrad.com for years, but I thought, you know what, don't take my word for it. Let's ask someone who really did save with Conrad. Let's welcome in Tyrus. Tyrus, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, Conrad. How about yourself?
Man, I'm delighted to talk to you. I got to ask, what made you come to Save with Conrad originally?
Well, first, I'm a return shopper, if you will. I was listening to the podcast years ago now with you and Bruce, and I just figured we were in the mode for a refinance, and I heard you guys save money, so I called you guys, got hooked up with Jimmy way back then, and that's really how the ball started to roll.
So initially you were interested in lowering your monthly payments, or did you want to knock out some credit card debt, or what was your goal the first time you went to savewithconrad.com?
It was mostly just to get the lower rate, but there's a little bit of credit card debt in there too, so we rolled that all up.
And you got a cheaper monthly payment on the other side of that?
Yeah, yep. And with this time that I used, it saved me quite a bit a month. Yeah.
So let's talk about what brought you back to Save with Conrad. First of all, thank you for using us not once, but twice. I appreciate that. But that was your needs back then. When was that? Was that 2020 that you did that before?
Yeah, it was around that, maybe 2019, somewhere around that.
Okay. So now a few years later, your needs have changed. What prompted you to go to savewithconrad.com this time?
Well, we were looking to refinance once again because we bought during the high rate time. And we had, a little bit of credit card debt, and we thought, why not hit that refinance button? And originally, we were thinking, why not just go through the national brand that was servicing our loan? I called one of them over there, and he crunched the numbers, and he said, no can do. Sorry. And then I thought, I'll just stay with Conrad again. And I called, and the delightful Frances answered, and you know her.
Oh, yeah.
And the first thing after I told her what the national brand said, she just said, are they stupid? We can save you money. And she got the ball rolling. I worked with the OG Larry and saving $425 a month.
All right. I love to hear that, man. $425 a month. I love that, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
If you had someone who was on the fence, because I know that there's a lot of people who just know me as the wrestling podcaster, but if you had someone who listens to my pods and they're on the fence about whether or not this is a real service and can he really do this? I mean, what would you say to that?
Absolutely do it. It worked for me multiple times, from Jimmy way back when to Francis and Larry. Just the whole team. They just had nothing but great things to say. They're easy to work with. They worked well with the inspectors and everything like that. It's just a great experience, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to help save you some money, and I would be delighted if we could help save you and your family some money. Do what Tyrus did. Go right now to savewithconrad.com. You can talk to a live person, get a quick quote, or just drop us an email directly at conrad@savewithconrad.com. And of course, we can still do it the old school way. Give us a call toll free at 888-425-0105. Thanks for all the time today, Tyrus. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Conrad.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender. Savewithconrad.com.